Hello, and welcome to my presentation on the limitations of the modality principle in multimedia learning. First of all, what is the modality principle? According to Clark and Mayer in E-Learning and the Design of Instruction, the modality principle suggests that learning is enhanced when words are presented as audio narration rather than as on-screen text, especially when paired with graphics or animations. This approach helps reduce cognitive overload by distributing information across both the visual and auditory channels. However, there are some limitations to the scope of the modality principle. Let's take a look. Sometimes using audio is not feasible due to technical demands that cannot be met, such as lack of sound cards, headsets, or bandwidth issues. In such cases, designers may have no choice but to rely on on-screen text, which unfortunately can increase cognitive load. The principle is most effective when words and graphics are presented simultaneously. If the words are technical, unfamiliar, lengthy, or needed for future reference, printed text may be preferable so learners can revisit the information. For example, from page 118 of Clark and Mayer, this image reflects narration being suspended so that the learner can reference the text directions during a practice exercise. If necessary audio equipment is unavailable or too expensive, designers may be forced to use on-screen text instead of narration, even if this is less effective for learning. This is especially relevant in settings where limited budgets such as schools, nonprofits, or developing regions. Not all learners may have access to the required audio equipment, which can create inequities in learning experiences. Audio equipment can also require ongoing maintenance, software updates, and eventual replacement, adding to the long-term costs. And perhaps simplest of all, the modality principle applies only when words and graphics are presented simultaneously. So naturally, it does not apply when words are presented without any concurrent visual input, such as pictures or graphics. The modality principle provides a valuable framework for enhancing learning by leveraging both visual and auditory channels, particularly when pairing audio narration with graphics or animations. While this approach can significantly reduce cognitive overload and improve comprehension, its effectiveness depends upon a variety of practical considerations. Technical constraints, the nature of the information, financial limitations, and accessibility issues may necessitate the use of on-screen text instead of audio, potentially diminishing the principle's benefits. Additionally, the modality principle is specifically applicable to situations where words and graphics are presented together, and its advantages may not extend to text-only or visual-only scenarios. Therefore, instructional designers should carefully evaluate the learning context and available resources to determine the most appropriate modality for delivering content, so that it ensures both effectiveness and accessibility for all learners.